Crypto crackheads and cryptillions, get ready to get Timified here. What we're going to do in this video, hopefully I can keep this under 20 minutes so you can watch on 1.5 times speed. But what I'm going to try to do here is using charts, do a couple things. First, to let you know why I personally am pretty bullish on BEPRO with direct comparison to Fantom, which is ticker FTM. So we will, instead of like typical YouTubers who don't know anything about price movement, even though they try to sound bullish all the time, but they don't know anything about it. You know, not doing that, but using the charts. Or I'm not going to be looking at websites and reading things to you that you can read yourself. I don't know why so many channels like that exist, but we'll be looking at charts and then a little tiny bit on how that might connect to what to expect due to the similarities in the projects, right? So first off, real quick, similarities in the projects. So Yahoo Finance, Fantom caught the attention because I mean it really took off, folks. Like it's done an insane run, and the coin circulation for Fantom is fairly similar to BEPRO's. Therefore, the price, like the literal USD value, is going to be very similar per the market cap increase, right, or per market cap. So when Fantom's market cap is 100 million. The USD value is something. Well, when BEPRO's market cap gets up to 100 million, which would be 10x from here, the US dollar value will be similar as well. So, for example, so there's a lot of similarities. But anyway, so the big one here is that Fantom has a cross-chain capability with Ethereum, and it fully integrated its wallet with Ethereum, and it essentially allows projects who are building on Ethereum to utilize Fantom as a cross-chain in order to reduce essentially gas fees and the transaction fees. So it's kind of like using Ethereum, but stepping around a pothole, stepping over a crack when the time to pay the price of the gas comes up, right? So that is so cross-chain. And one of my earlier videos, I mentioned, hey, these are the buzzwords of this hype, and part of Pumponomics. If that's a thing, but that's what I did. I researched the best likelihood to pump coins, and BEPRO was by far on top. But anyway, Pumponomics, one of the biggest things is, does it have the hype words of this hype run? What's the hype? What's the flavor of this run? Last time it was smart contracts. The time before that was Bitcoin killer, right? And so this time it actually has a lot of buzzwords, but a lot of places, a lot of different projects are mixing them all together, and BEPRO is also one of them, which is awesome, and so does Fantom. So cross-chain is one. Protocol, Oracle, and DeFi. DeFi is the real big one, but one that's come out recently that I don't think most of them can mix, it's a totally different field, is NFTs. So essentially taking, for example, the value of a painting from a famous painter and putting it specifically on a cryptocurrency so that it never disappears, specifically even when you burn that painting. The value is always locked in. So I honestly don't know much about it. You might want to look into it because it's the hype. So if you can find a new project that's coming out and that hasn't popped yet, you should tell me about it. Please, if you can find some, if you can find a project that's under 20 million cap and it's NFT related, share it with the BEPRO team. I mean, we can hop on two boats, hell yeah. Why not ride on two trains if you can? But anyway, so, that was the big thing with Fantom and BEPRO, obviously. We talked about this already, was it's cross-chained with all networks, not just Ethereum, but Binance and Polkadot on top of Ethereum. So this cross-chain capability is even better with this. So different applications. The Fantom is a payment processor essentially, and then and BEPRO is roughly going to be kind of like your Microsoft Windows specific to gaming. So, and Ethereum is Microsoft Windows for blockchain in general, essentially for projects to create, to become a business. But anyway, so, and then it has protocol here, it's got all the buzzwords. I don't know if it has the word Oracle I don't think it has the word Oracle on there, so it's only missing one. So anyway, it's got a lot of buzzwords here. Also, let's see in the price here. So IM versus USDT on the weekly chart. So this is BEPRO versus USDT on the weekly. So let's take a look at what's happened here. Since there's not a lot of price history, there's not a lot to see, right? But I saw those similarities between BEPRO and Fantom, right? Because actually, the reason I chose this because I saw what Fantom did. That was the best in all cryptocurrency. I wanted to know what's going to do it next, right? So, and I hunted and I hunted and I hunted, and I actually happened to land on BEPRO pretty fast. But it's also similar in the charts. So check this out. What we'll do later in the video is we're going to try to figure out, how to make our game plan. If it does end up following something similar to Fantom, what's our future game plan to capitalize as much as possible on this. So there are a lot of cool similarities. So the more you stare at charts, the more you see. It's just really cool. But anyway, so check this out. This is BEPRO versus USDT. There we go. So yellow is the 21 EMA, so weekly, and then the 10, the red is the 10. So what you notice here is the red crossed above. Typically that's very bullish because those are two huge. I mean, the weekly 10 and 21 are major, especially if you're not in a bear market. So obviously got bullish. It faded, right? Because 2020 still wasn't a bull market. But the bot said buy. This probably wasn't a lot of people. So maybe people were buying, but then bots started buying too, and that's what happened. Then, what happened here? The weekly 10 got up. It got up. And then on a 4-hour chart, I started seeing, holy crap, it's going to pass its all-time high. And I started buying in around .002. Boom, BEPRO train, green dildo up your bunghole. All in 1 week. I mean, check this out. Like let's see. Yeah, from roughly there. 372%. So whenever you have a huge run like that, you have to have a pretty big correction too. So on an old coin, the big correction typically comes down, dips below the weekly 21 if there's a lot of price action. But we don't have price action, so it probably won't even check its 10 now. But price might hang out until late March so that this can catch up to here. Price does not like to live above this 10 very high for very long, like only 2 weeks maximum, ever. And then it'll either come down and touch it, or it'll go sideways to wait for it to catch up and then take off, right? But usually to allow it to catch up, plus get closer to it, price action usually likes to go this way, like this, like that, and then up. And we'll see that on Fantom too, but not on the weekly chart, because there's not enough price history. But anyway, so check this out. Red line crosses the yellow line. So look at this, Fantom. Red line crosses the yellow line. Green dildo's up your bunghole. So after its breakout, about right here, how high did it go? It only went up 70%, and then it had its. So this is what BEPRO has done so far. It's essentially but we're not at 4 cents. So I mean this was down at .002. So this had a slow ride up. So, and the only reason why this rode up on a huge percentage basis is because it dropped so hard, people. I mean, like, this is nasty. It lost 96% of its value. That's the only reason why it's been such an impressive run, because it was such an abysmal bear market. I mean, that's almost as much as Cardano. Cardano is the worst case. 99% of its value. But anyway, my camera moved. So we're seeing similarities in the charts here on top of similarities in the pumponomics of it. So let's imagine it didn't come down so hard. This is just embarrassing, people. I mean, cryptillions. I need to stop saying people. Here we're on a team here. Who's on a baseball team? Say, hey, people. But anyway, so let's say it came down here. Yeah, .00. Let's say, where's BEPRO at? Yeah, BEPRO's about here. So yeah, something like that. So that's its 225%. Well, no, that's it. So right here, that's its 300% run. So up to 1.8 cents. Okay. Then how many weekly red candles did we have? Just one. And what does BEPRO have right now? Just one. And what did it allow it to do? It allowed this red 10 simple moving average to catch up. Did it touch it? Pretty damn close. Then what happened? Green dildos up your bunghole. And this technically was green for most of the time, at least several days of this week. And then it opened here where the top of the red candle is, went up to here and crashed. So check this out. When do you know that the next run that BEPRO has, and multiple runs that it's going to have, when is an okay indicator of when it might sell? Well, the distance, the percentage basis from the red 10 simple to its top, that's 146%. But the only tricky thing is with back testing this stuff is I think it ticks one back, right? So if price goes above the previous candles, because I think the week has to end for that to fill out, right? Because it's based on the close, so you actually have to work off this. So it went 178% off the weekly 10 from the previous candle, because as this price was happening, this wasn't here, not yet. So what did I say? 178%. So that's a lot. Let's see how much it went up from here. See if we get any similarities. 129%. Then Fantom hit the news and it just went ridiculous. I mean, this is just freaking insane. Like, look at that. That is insane. Whew. Is there a good way to kind of calculate what is going on there from a percentage increase basis off this? Not really, because if you followed that kind of rule there that you see there, it didn't work here. So here's a cool example of, in trading, when you find a pattern, it works until it doesn't. Right? It does work until, every time. So here it worked once, and so you got a high. So let's see what you would have gotten there. 122%. So if you straddled orders around 122%, 0.004, 0.0056. You would have missed out on 35% of price action, but if you straddled kind of liberally, similar to the color chart that I had where it's top heavy, if you straddled top heavy, you would have gotten a lot of it. And then if you did it here, well, you probably would have been screwed a little bit. But there was probably a lot of up and down movement, so you probably could have seen it coming. It didn't just go boom. This is 7 days of price history, which we'll see here in a bit. So let's kind of lock in. So January 25th. Anyway, so that's the pattern that I'm seeing here. So the main point is red crossed above yellow. Bullish. Booyah. Green dildos. So green dildo party. Right now we only have one. And you know what? On BEPRO, this absolutely could be what we're seeing. Just one. It's allowing this to come up. And so by the time this week ends, even if we hang out above this 0.004 space, the next candle, this will creep up like that. And so therefore this will have progressed while that wick stayed the same and it got closer. So it's not hanging out too far above it. So that was one reason. I saw this cross and I saw green dildos, and so I think I caught it around 0.0019, and I said, okay, if this starts breaking out, I'm buying the shit out of it, and I did. So I bought a breakout. You either buy blood or a breakout. So anyway, that is one similarity. Let's check out the daily. So you use Stokes as a secondary type of verifier, right? So you don't ever want to use it as a primary thing. So on the daily on BEPRO, USDT, so this is USDT pairing, look at the horizontal line moving up and down in the Stokes, right? And try to find out where it makes a lot of touch points, both from the Stokes coming down and bouncing up and off of it, or Stokes coming from below it and bouncing off of it to the downward, and you kind of land on 43.5. Okay, so it works until it doesn't, right? Well, if Stokes right now are coming down, when do you think it's going to bottom out? When it gets to 43.5? Well, shit, where is it now? At 43.5. You know, could it skip down below? Because over here it got down to 36, but still, like, this is roughly about right. Like, look at this, guys, cryptillions. I mean, this is pretty awesome. So let's see how well that works on Fantom. And I actually don't even know. It might have its own number, like 50, you know, but it's absolutely going to have a number because there are bots playing this. So wait until you see the most stuff line up. So again, if you see this horizontal, as I move my cursor, I'm trying to make it hit, you know, as many peaks and valleys from that come up from below, and then also hit as many things, troughs like this. Like this right here is a trough. So I'm trying to make it hit as many as possible to get like a best fit line. This one isn't perfect. I'm hitting 48. Let's just call it about 48. So it works until it doesn't, right? So over here, you know, it just stayed way above it. Like there weren't many dips at all. But let's see after it really started skyrocketing then. So here, 48. If you would have been using all past these and said 48, oh, it worked here. Did it work on the next one? Nope. Worked until it didn't, right? So it didn't work for you there. But will it work later? Absolutely. And if price really tanks, you can also say, are we getting a fake out or not? And you can determine that by if the Stokes have been below it after it really tanks. If Stokes like crash down to the lower point of 20, where which is a big indicator there, and then it's coming up, you can tell if it's a fake out if it gets up to that line and starts curling over. Right, so you know Stokes are pretty cool to use, especially on the bigger time frames. They're almost useless, you know. They're almost useless as you go down to the hours and stuff. So hopefully this can kind of help you, you know, plan for what's ahead with BEPRO. Now, let's check some other stuff out. So, what's the play? How many times during its first run did BEPRO hit its weekly or its daily 21? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and that was a quick dip right there. So once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 4 times before it actually had a major correction. And going below your weekly 200, which is the orange one, that's a pretty severe correction. All right, so, you know, will BEPRO hit it 4 times before it has a blow off and corrects? I don't know. It could be 5, it could be 3, it could be 2. I really don't know. Because it could be 2 if it does something stupid like this. I mean, once, nothing, like this is retarded. Like this is amateur investors not knowing what the hell they're doing. This should never happen. This is going to come down so low. So it went up 3,100%. And how many days? How many days? Jesus. In a month. In a month. How many percent was this? So when it bounced off its 21. 3,350%. So let's go back. So from its 21, about there. So this could skyrocket past 10 cents. Could easily. Especially if we fill this out for the month of March, kind of like what I was saying, and get a big base. And look at this. Look how perfectly that aligned to the aggressive trend line that I wrote. So this is best case scenario. If we follow this trend line, like, and we get up close to it, like that is probably a good time to start straddling some limit cells and taking some profits, just like we did here. But I don't know which one's going to play out. I mean, this is still pretty aggressive because, you know, by September, that's at $10. You know, is that going to happen? I mean, it could. BEPRO would have to be at like 15 billion market cap. What did Cardano do its first year out? It got up to 22 billion. And also, it started with a ton of investor money. It had a stupid ICO where it already started out at like a billion cap. So people only saw 20x. If something like this went up to even 1 billion, you're like 1,000x, right? I mean, that's why getting into big market cap coins is just it's the risk reward ratio is just not there. It's almost pointless. But relative, so no, it's not pointless relative to like gold or something. But relative to small caps and what's really out there, it's totally pointless. Why would you do it? But anyway, so that's hyper bullish stuff. So and that kind of shows you why being boring for a month is good, because the chance of us passing this is almost zero. People, like if we're cryptillions, gotta start getting a habit of that. It's almost zero. We might wick above it on a weekly and maybe spend 2 days above it, but it's not gonna happen. So that's why coming out to at least the March 20th or something, and then maybe pinging off the blue origin line and kind of filling out, and bam, straight up to 10, 11 cents. Well, it wouldn't go do in 1 day, so it would take a few days, maybe come up, bam. This could blow up to 20 cents. This could. Now that's hyper bullish. It could only come up to here, which is 3 cents. And even this conservative line, like I said earlier, by let's say middle of June, where the hell is it? It's at 45 cents by June. So if you get bummed out that we do start getting stuck at this line, yo, look how high it is in June. 50 cents. That's 500 million. That's about 600 million cap. That's not big for a bull market, folks. Especially for a coin that has really good pumponomics behind it, or hyponomics. I mean, the chance of this happening is pretty high. I don't know if it's something over 50%, but it is high. It's extremely doable, and the chance of us, going something even more aggressive, doing something stupid like Cardano did and going in the 20 billions and coming up here, it's totally possible, and a lot of us here will be millionaires because we got in early and we weren't doing anything stupid. And if you do hold BEPRO, make sure you're staking a good portion of it. So anyway, check this out. So BEPRO USDT. Okay. Well, I wanted to go back to Fantom. Show you. I did find something really cool. So what I'm going to cover now is what to look out for. Kind of what might be the play, right, as we go along. So with charting on BEPRO, I kind of told you what the play would be with the origin lines and the aggressive line / the conservative line, which still isn't conservative because it's 50 cents by June. But anyway, let's see here. I found something really cool. Now, 1 hour chart, I don't recommend it. But as I said earlier, using the hologram, sometimes you check it just to make sure there's nothing crazy that you might be missing. And it's a good thing I did. Do you see what I see? So check this out. What pattern do you see? Take a look. Do you see a pattern? I sure as hell do, and it lasted from here, all the way till now. And honestly, this is probably a moment, if you're seeing what and I'll let you know what it is if you're not seeing what I'm seeing. But this is probably a moment where it works until it doesn't, and this is probably a moment where it doesn't anymore. Like there's always a moment where it doesn't work anymore. But you should play it until it doesn't work, period. Because you need to have strategies to identify, what I planned didn't work, and then you need to know how to get out of that and then make a new plan based off of other technicals, right? So this orange line, the 200 on the 1 hour. Look at this. Look at that. Buy, 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 buy. Obviously, it dipped under on most of them, and it kind of stopped working here. So when would you have known, hey, get out of this? Is if, well, let's see these two. because we still don't know if what's playing now. Actually, yeah, we do. Okay, we do know. Okay, so throughout when it really started pumping, look what didn't happen. Look at the yellow. Look at it. Boom. Did not cross it. So this right here where I'm circling, that is a nice big accumulation. So I wonder how many days. Well, it's a 1 hour chart. It's probably not as long as what it looks. So 20 days of accumulation. So that's kind of what BEPRO should be doing right now. And I hope it's a boring March. The longer we do this, the better. Because this, remember what I said, that's stupid, like that's a stupid run. It was only possible because of all this consolidation. So really consolidation is exciting, especially if it's near your high. And what was it doing here? Consolidating near its high. But anyway, I mean, you know, just freaking A. I mean, so if you bought that pattern, that's 500%. That's just so insane. And if you bought the first one, because it's been a pattern the whole time, you know, you're getting a deep correction here. That's almost 800%. That's just so amazing. So yeah, you know, the 1 hour chart can be useful, and it usually isn't. So, but I look at that. It just look at the play. So let's figure out, you know, a way to know it works until it doesn't is something that pretty much has never happened before. Is the yellow crosses under? Did the yellow cross here? Yes, but price was confident around that point and then went up. Price went below. Price doesn't look confident. Why? Because it made a lower high twice. So this is a clear indicator. So if we were riding the Fantom train and playing this play over and over and over, buying here, and it goes like this, it makes this, I still would have been holding at this point. Like I would have taken 84 cent to 50 cent loss on a large portion of my holdings, because you simply don't know if it's going to go up again to $2 and more than double, right? You do not know. So you wouldn't sell out all your bags, and plus you don't know that you can sell here. You don't know. Yeah, hindsight bias is 20/20, especially in charting. So you don't know what this is, you know. Because this history isn't here in the moment here back in February 25th, which is not very long ago. So what I would have done is I would have seen, yellow dip below, and I would say to myself, well, I'm not going to panic sell here, obviously, because if it dips, it's going to screen back above. Like price is going to be gravitating towards roughly to where it was. Okay, boom. And then I would have seen, you know, look, Stokes are getting high, but price didn't. And RSI, you know, oh, it's topping out, and I probably would have used the 4 hour to figure this out. Yeah, it stopped out under the green line. So under the green line, price is not going up anymore. Past like relative to previous highs. So once I saw this, and once I saw specifically though, I will let you know how I would have gotten out. Once I saw it cross below the green, cross below the white, I would have gotten out right there. I would have gotten out here at 54 cents. That's how I would have made that choice, and how I would have used my primary indicators of moving averages and RSI. So, but using that 1 hour, I mean, shit. Doesn't look bad here. I mean, and the reason why the 1 hour doesn't look bad is only because all of this is new territory. So the price history before doesn't count anymore. So, you know, with BEPRO this whole year, we might be able to roll the 2 hour chart. Let's see what the 2 hour chart looks like. Pretty similar. Hitting the 200, 200, 200. The 1 hour was in this one. It just, you know, it pinged off and stayed above. So playing dips below the 1 hour 200 was like almost perfect. All right, so let's try to figure out, well, is there an intelligent way to figure out, you know, when to sell? All right, and I haven't done this before. I'm literally doing this on the fly. Like I'm exploring, and you know, this is when I have some free time, especially during a bull market. I try to figure out, well, a lot of coins move very similarly because human behavior and the choices of hitting market buy and the bots are all going to be pretty much the same. And honestly, human psychology hasn't changed in, you know, however long humans have been around. Which the guesses of anthropologists is between 80 million or not 80 million, 80,000 to 200,000, less than 200,000. I think the top guess is like 150,000 years. And Homo erectus actually walked Earth for 2 million years. I don't know if you knew that, but anyway, look, we're not here to talk about Homo erectus. We're here to talk about Homo red dildos and green dildos. So, but anyway, let's. Is there a good way to know when to sell? I really don't think so, people. And if you end up finding something that is a good way to do it, you'll be a millionaire. But the thing is, you can find something that works till it doesn't. So let's see if there's anything obvious in the chart here on the 2 hour, right? Divergence. Yeah, so there's a lot of divergence here on the RSI. See how this is higher price and RSI makes a lower high, right? So right when Stokes start turning around on the 2 hour and it made a lower high more than once, probably time to get out. And so you see where the moving, so the white line here is the moving average of the RSI, right? So and Krown has the control zone here for a reason, because all coins follow, even gold follows the same thing. The same level applies. If you are below this, if RSI stuck below this, you are not going above. You are not making new highs. That's what that means. And so if you see Stokes go all the way up, which means typically, see how they're all the way up and price is going up? If you see them all the way up and the 2 hour is stuck below both the RSI, the green, and the EMA stuck below the green line, probably time to get the hell out. I mean, that looks pretty good to me. Let's see how well this holds up. So you go on another run, you don't know it's over yet. So, if you cover, use your hand to cover the screen, you can't tell if it's going to go up. And sometimes it dips below and screams up. So, you keep going. And let's say you make one lower high. So there's divergence here. Let's zoom in here. So, right here, here's the highest peak of RSI, which it does go above the green, but the moving average doesn't. When the moving average and green is above, that's very bullish. Even in a dip, like, you keep rolling because you want to wait for the bearish divergence, because bearish, you don't sell when something like this happens up here, because the price typically almost always goes higher on the second one that's actually lower. So, like, for example, you wouldn't want to sell every time you see RSI go above the white, because it's going to go higher and it's going to create divergence. That might be an okay time to sell, right? And here you didn't have a damn chance. This is just stupid. If you see price go parabolic, maybe, you just have to look at price action. I mean, price action really is its own indicator. I mean, looking at the movement of price itself and the candles. If you see parabolic moves, you don't want to get out too early, but the way you do it, and you can't pick the top. You get some, you'll get out a little late, some you'll get out a little early, and a tiny bit you'll get in at the exact right spot. But how do you do that? You start taking profits slowly. So as you see it go parabolic, don't just sell everything. You can do 10% here, wait a day, 10% the next day, wait a day, 10% the next day, or even 5. And if you see things start to pick up, maybe increase it by 10 to 10% and 20% by the day or by the week, or however fast it's moving up, because indicators aren't going to do crap for you in parabolic moves. It's all price action, period. And things that might help are percentages away from its moving averages, like from the 2 hour 21, how far above did it get? 200%. Let's see, that's just stupid. So, I mean, not even on this run did it get, I don't think it would have gotten that high. It might have, though. Because this is a lot, no, not even close. See? So, yeah, that's parabolic. But anyway, trying to find a good, when BEPRO's really, how do you know when to sell some of your holdings and, mark, limit, sell, and all that stuff? So bearish divergence here. So this price made a higher high, right? And this both made a lower low to that, but it's stuck under the green line. Pretty good time to get out. When you know when to buy back? Well, works till it doesn't. Last time it bounced off the 2 hour 200. Wait till it hits the 200 and it looks confident. Boom, hits the 200. Maybe buy some back and wait till it looks confident. Is it confident? Is it confident? Yes, it is. Wait for the retest, because it almost always retests. Come back down and buying it back heavily here. That is about where I would do it, especially if you want to know the perfect buyback spot where you lose a little opportunity, right? Instead of buying this, because you don't know if it's going to crash down. You don't know. You can't see all the rest of this over here. You can't see this glory. It could be death ahead, right? You don't know. So the safest thing to really look out for if you're following the trend is boom, okay, all right, so far so good. I'll straddle orders here, you know. I'll be ready to get out if it's keep going. And then let's say you only used up half of your USD during that straddle order because you don't know if it's going to go lower. Comes up, wait for some form of higher low, boom, get a higher low, okay, wait for the higher low. And these are only 2 hours, so this all happened in 6 hours. So if you see a green candle, green candle, green candle, bigger, I would have probably gotten in about right there. I would have gotten in right there. And look what the bots did. At the start of this new candle actually went down to try to scare people right before it took off. But yeah, this right here, once it got above this local high, so it formed a higher low, that would be a no-brainer time to get in. So how much, you know, straddling orders maybe about here. No, you only lost out on 11%. So that's why buying breakouts is. Breakouts above some form of local high. It would have been even safer to wait to buy until it passed both of these. And that's why sometimes candles get real big on a breakout, because people see the same thing and they all hit buy. So it would have been kind of safe to buy that right there. I would have done it there. And I would have done some here, because I would have seen that last time and I would have played, just like in my last video I said I played the 2 hour 89 exponential. So anyway, so let's keep looking. So let's see how well this keeps working for, you know, getting out. So again, this is the 2 hour. I think we might be able to play BEPRO 2 hour the entire year, by the way. I think, because it's all brand new territory. So the rest of the price from 2019, you can't use it. So we're like, this is a brand new coin essentially, right? So look, RSI, super bullish, got above the white line. Wait for the divergence. Don't, so because it didn't go parabolic, right? Like, this isn't parabolic. These are pretty small candles. So and these are only 2 hours, so it takes, you know, 12 of these. Like, this is only one day. Even that's a big day, but it's not parabolic. And so you see it come above. Wait for a divergence. Did you get divergence? Hell yeah, you did, because you got higher price, lower this. And how do you know you won't get like a double divergence where price goes even higher? I don't know. You could have just sold divergence, maybe sell some of it, and then maybe, oh, here you go, use the Stokes. Price during this, you know, I mean, look at all these Stokes. You got a trend right there at 43. So you sell, you would go, okay, we got divergence. When do we pass 43? We passed it about right there. So yeah, that would have been a good time to get out, because you're tanking below your support. So if you're crashing through Stokes support, then that's a good time to get out. So let's see if we can do it again here. Now this is just parabolic. Rules don't apply to parabolic. I mean, you could have waited till this, till you get stuck under this white one, and then got out here, and you only would have missed out on let's say, yeah, that's a lot of price movement, but that's still safe. Like, you could have gotten out here when you made when you got stuck under the moving average. Yeah, so when you go parabolic, you pretty much just have to use price action, and perhaps percentages off here. There's nothing you can do there. Like, I mean, you can't sell the top. You just can't. So forget about it, unless you straddle, you know, and you know, and sometimes you might straddle here and you miss out on all that. It's just gonna happen, people. But at least, you know, it came back down. You have an opportunity to buy even lower, you know. So like, that wouldn't be such a bad move to have straddled here, even though it kind of sucks, you know. And then you want to buy back. Oh, buy back? Yeah, nope. That's how you lose your money. If you make a choice to take profits at a certain point and you see it skyrocketing, just wait. Just freaking wait, because you're gonna screw yourself. It's probably like 9 times out of 10 you're gonna screw yourself, especially when it's quick movement like this. You know, this is only like a half a day of movement, so you only had to wait. Just go to sleep and wake up. Oh, you sold above this. This is the next day, right? So 21st. Yeah, this sold the 21st, same day. So don't worry. Don't if you sell out and see it skyrocket, don't try to get back in, folks. Don't try to get back in. All right, so sell another little tops here. So check this out. There's not a lot to do here. It just kind of crept creeping. Is there a way to figure out how this topped? Well, you can't look at the, you won't be able to see it on the 2 hour. Oh, breaking the Stoke rule. So, Stoke's on the 4 hour about here. So look, this got tricky. This did come down and looked like it was going to get support over here. And then it crashed out. So really, selling about here would have been the most no-brainer. There's just no way you can know to sell here. Like, you can't. It's not possible. And so that's why it's so important to realize that when you're taking profits and you just, like, it's just going crazy high, yeah, it feels like you're holding your breath underwater and you're getting ready to drown as you sold here and it just keeps going up. I know the feeling. It really sucks. But just realize it will come back down, especially if price has been really aggressive. It will come back down. Just, you have to chill out. And I say that to myself a lot, like, chill the back out, Tim. So, like, it's a bad feeling, but I really, just try not to jump back in, people. I guess you're going to get screwed. You will be able to buy it back lower if price has been super aggressive. Yeah, so that's kind of a rundown what I'm seeing on the fly. I didn't really plan any of this besides the 1 hour. The 1 hour is the only thing I really knew that I wanted to cover. And then, gosh, were there other similarities? Maybe let's see the Bitcoin. Oh. Okay, so BEPRO hasn't even crushed its all-time high. It's only about, like, BEPRO's only about here. So this is kind of like where we are. So, I mean, look, we could have one hell. Whew, whew. That looks dirty. But yeah, this looks pretty similar. So that's really aggressive. And this is why small alts skyrocket. Because, like I said earlier, as Bitcoin goes down and the price of your coin stays stable at US dollar, what it's doing on the BTC chart is actually going up. It is going up, even though the price isn't moving in US dollars. And then it makes a new base, and then as Bitcoin goes up, your coin isn't going to stay stable because that means it's going to be dropping on the BTC pairing, but it really won't. The rules are going against that because you just formed a new base, so it has to go up, right? So I mean that's why alts are awesome. What else? So BTC chart. I mean, the play for a long time was the 10 on the 4 hour on the BTC pairing. And then it works till it doesn't, right? So, and then it didn't work here. Let's see how it worked here. So, yeah, then the play is different. So, the plays definitely keep changing. You just work with something until it doesn't. Kind of like I was playing the 49 or the 4 hour 89 EMA till it didn't. It kind of worked, but it wasn't the play. It was the 21, daily 21, not the 4 hour 89. So if you do see something go parabolic, folks, like this, and do something insane, like above 500%. Well, it's got to be more than that. Oh no, this is on the BTC pairing. So if you see something go parabolic, and do something above 500%, like I was saying earlier, so like 500% maybe from there. Yeah, 700%, like, it would, a lot of times the fall does coincide with the Bitcoin fall. So a lot of times you can go parabolic until Bitcoin has, is approaching a 4 hour death cross. So that's kind of your tip off moment is Bitcoin price action. So that's why it's important to know how to look at Bitcoin too. And you would want to stay into stable coins for quite a while. I mean, this will come down for the entire month and it will come down deeply, just like Cardano's getting ready to. So you would want to look at the weekly for this one. It might come down to 16 freaking cents from 87. The chance of it hitting 17 cents is extremely high. So, point being, if you go parabolic and do 500%, might want to move almost everything into stable coins, and perhaps not market sell, because then you are dumping the price of your own coins as well, right? So if you see things go parabolic, we'll just set limit buy orders even higher, like staggered, maybe not even straddling, just a little higher, a little higher, a little higher, a little higher, until you have 100% of your coins in limit orders, and maybe you set some way up here, right? And they didn't get filled. Well, when you see the tip off to start selling, well, you only have to sell a little bit of your coins, because you saw stuff going parabolic. You set orders here, 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 here. None of these got hit. Didn't go to 3. Well, that would be stupid high. You wouldn't have set it up to there. But like up to $1, yeah, maybe even $1.25. Set them up to here. Only these didn't get filled, so you can sell on the way down. So when you go parabolic, over 500%, like, you need to hold stablecoins. Holding stablecoins is a great decision, and lending them so you're earning 20% plus while your bag would have been going down. The opportunity cost is huge. So the difference between losing, so where's this going to go? Conservatively, it'll come down here. So while your bags lose, instead of losing 60%, you'd be gaining 20. So that's a huge difference. So you're not just gaining 20, right? Because you would have been losing 60. So the difference is huge. Like, if you have even though you can't do this necessarily with percentages don't work that way. But the difference between 20 and 60 is a lot bigger than just 20, right? So that's the opportunity cost I'm talking about. But again, percentages don't work that way. But honestly, on a percentage basis, the opportunity cost could be in the hundreds percentages from there. But anyway, yeah. So conservatively, Fantom is going to come down here. Absolute best case, 35 cents, because that's the weekly 10. It's got to hit it. And that's still really bullish. As weird as that sounds, crashing down freaking 75%, that's still really bullish. It's just because people, like, whoever's hitting market buy here doesn't know what they're doing. That is it. And you need to be able to take advantage of it. And that's why I like small alts with. And that's why I kept saying Pumponomics. One of the biggest things is high CoinCirc. Without high CoinCirc, this ain't going to happen. Because newbies with $1,000 walking into crypto, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire. This is only at 13 cents, and Bitcoin's at what, 45,000? Hell, I'm buying Fantom. It can go from 13 cents to 50,000. And they don't know what coin circulation is. You need to be able to capitalize on that. That's why it's such a big deal to have high CoinCirc in my analysis of Pumponomics. So that's what this is. That's all this is. So that's why it has to come down, or it will come down 75% and still be bullish. Right? That it's still bullish after almost almost an 80% drop. I mean, hell, it's bullish if it stays above the weekly 21, or let's say halfway between. It's still bullish after an 80% drop because of high CoinCirc. That's all this is, people. Is folks not understanding that the U.S. dollar value doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't even look at it unless it's in your account and you see your account going up because you're taking advantage of that. Obviously, look at those dollar values. That's what you need to do. Like, oh man, I'm just licking my lips right here, just waiting for this to happen. Oh my God, for new blood to get in and start buying low cap coins with high CoinCirc, because they look at it and it's 40 cents or 30 cents or 16 cents and they throw $3,000 at it. Boom, 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 boom. Oh my gosh. People around the world doing it who don't know what the hell they're doing. Yeah, this is people not knowing what the hell they're doing. And this is why high CoinCirc is so awesome. Because they are giving you their money willingly. They are hitting buy and you have put sell. They gave it to you willingly. Like, this is amazing. I cannot wait for this to happen. God, we're going to make so much money, people. This is going to be amazing. My cryptillions. Now I'm just getting... Hopefully I'm not in fantasy land here, I might be, but I really don't think so. I really don't think so. even if, you know, we're only to get like half its run, that's still 10,000%. What would BEPRO if it got about half? From its breakout point, maybe about right there. That can't be right. Something wrong here. I'm not sure why that's not working. Sometimes when you go too low here, it messes up. I really don't think 10,000% is just. Yeah, that's not 13,000%. 500%. Put you at 12 cents. So Fantom might have a lot to go. That's really not that high. That's not a big market cap right there, folks. So to go 10,000% from the breakout point, right? That only puts you at, let's say, 13 cents. Well, look at BEPRO, coin market cap. What's the coin circuit? I'm pretty sure it's 1.8 billion. Come on, bastard. I think I have too many wallets open that are mining. Oh, it says right there. Yeah, 1.825. So, I don't even know what math I'm doing right now. Oh yeah, what the market cap has to be. So, hundreds, thousands. So yeah, it only has to be 255 million to get up to 14 cents. That is not big. 255 million. What's the smallest on page 1 of CoinMarketCap? What do you think it is? That means it's the 100th biggest in cryptocurrency. More than double. More than double. So 14 cents. So it could easily have a lot more. Like, let's just say, and all these will rise too during the bull market. I mean, we'll see like, you know, the bottom of the page market cap will be over $1 billion. It'll be like it might be close to 2 billion, right? So, yeah, it will. Just watch. It's gonna happen. Like recently, this was 40. The bottom of CoinMarketCap was about, I think it was 38 million. And look, it's more than 10 times bigger, right? So, but anyway, let's just say it gets as big. I mean, these really aren't that big. This isn't that big for a bull run. So, at the end of the bull run, when this could be up to 10 billion, let's just say it gets up to here, right? Let's just pick this exact number and then divide it by the amount of circulating coins, which would give you the price at that amount. $0.59, 59.3 cents. June. So by June, we might be at $1 billion cap. So I'm gonna like save this part of the video or something, and I'll come back to it in June. I'll actually put it on my calendar to say, hey, on June 14th, are we at 1 billion cap? And I'll make a video like encapsulating what I'm saying right now, and we'll go back to there, see how far off we are. Now, it's possible that around June, you know, we have gone like this and we come way down and we're only at 9 cents, and then right after June we go up to here, you know, but around June. So, or I might make it to that when it does hit a billion cap, which gets it right at $1, close to $1. So 1.2 billion would be right there $1. Right when we pass a billion and we're at about 60 cents. I'll make a video because my guess was June, sometime in June. So anyway, that's all I got for you. We might be in fantasy land, people. It could go straight to zero. You never know. But these are all the reasons what I'm seeing. Hope you and I'll probably take a break from videos until Monday, but unless something crazy happens. But I don't think it's going to be boring and red dildos. So that's what I got for today. Take it easy, stay safe out there, and don't forget to take profits. See you later, cryptillions and crypto crackheads. You just got Timified.